What's up everybody, AnimeX here, and in this video I will be adding yet another chapter into the What If AnimeX Was a Naruto series. This is still due to the reception that the series is getting along with me just liking to make this story, so that's why we're here. This one will not be different per se, it'll be interesting. It'll be an interesting chapter for you guys. A lot of new stuff is going to be thrown at you, I'll just say that. A couple new characters, some good stuff. You'll see. You'll see as we get through into the chapter. But it will be getting a lot more fast paced from here because we do need to tackle the massive series that is Naruto. So that's just letting you guys know. Anyways, as usual, I'll be recapping the last chapter of this series before jumping into the new material. So without further ado, let's get started. Now, in the last chapter of this What If, we really had just gotten a lot of development on the end of Yui. Really, we had just been really getting into how Yui is as a character and really just trying to develop some of the side cast a little bit because those times, I just want to do the characters justice, get them a little bit of development so you know who they are truly and you care about them, alright? In the last part, we did kind of shift our focus off of Naruto and Kirai for a bit, and for all the people who didn't necessarily enjoy that part, don't worry, we'll be getting a lot more Naruto and Kirai stuff, so just make sure to just keep watching through this video and you guys will see a lot of enjoyable stuff. Some interesting develop will continue on to their end, and really we simply just left off with Yui developing as a character and heading home, and Kirai and Naruto just having fun, as kids should. So that's where we'll jump back into the story. Now, we switch perspectives from that of Yui to Kirai and Naruto, who are currently having fun in the woods at night, running around and overall just having a good time. Naruto and Kirai aren't playing even a specific game, but they're just jumping from tree branch to tree branch, having a good time in general, and acting as kids should, goofing around, just having an overall fun time. When Kirai tries to leap to the next tree branch in his path, however, it snaps and he falls down the tree and starts rolling down the steep incline that he and Naruto had found themselves upon. As Kirai rolls down the hill, Naruto rushes after him. Naruto ends up stopping Kirai and grabs his leg and then helps his friend to his feet. Are you okay, Kirai? Kirai's light eyes look up at Naruto in the darkness and send chills up his spine. You see that, Naruto? Kirai points down at a secluded area that they both know is where the Uchiha clan's designated area is. Yeah, that's where Sasuke and the rest of the Uchiha clan lives. Why are you asking? Kirai's eyes seem to glow mischievously when Naruto asks this question, and Kirai starts running down the hill to reach the clan area. I'm gonna go check out the area real quick. You can stay here if you want. Kirai then is running down the hill. He's racing down the hill while Naruto stands there, confused for a bit, before shrugging his own shoulders and chasing after Kirai. As the two boys run down this hill, Naruto asks him why he is interested in where the Uchiha clan lives. I need to talk to Wicked Eye Fugaku, and this is most likely where he's going to be at nighttime. I'll explain everything after I talk to him, okay? Naruto nods, and the two continue down until they arrive at the gates of the Uchiha clan. Alright. We are here, Naruto. Kirai's voice shakes as he extends his arms to open the gate. Once I open this gate, there's no turning back, so... Just as Kirai extends his arms to fully open the gate, a shriek from inside of the clan barriers rings out into the clear night sky. This startles both Naruto and Kirai, who leap back about 10 feet upon hearing this scream. What was that? What was that, Kirai? I have no idea, but it sounds like someone is hurt. We need to go help. Kirai then forcefully stops his shaking arm and pushes through the gates and runs through the Uchiha clan's miniature town as he searches around for someone who could have possibly been injured. Now, as they run through the clan, they look around and check around for someone who basically could possibly be injured. And as they run through, they see blood splattered all over the walls and homes of many separate families. And just as they start to notice this, Kirai's heart races in his chest as he gets flashbacks of the genjutsu that displayed his family dying. The blood on the walls and the smell of death all around him seems to be bringing back horrible genjutsu-like memories. His feet keep moving, however, until he sees someone in the night, flickering and shimmering through the air, almost as if space isn't really affecting them like it does everybody else. What is that? Kirai sees someone with long hair and an orange, spiraling mask, seemingly disappearing and reappearing all throughout the street, blood trails following that man. The man with the orange mask turns towards Kirai and Naruto for a split second, and Kirai is able to make eye contact with the red, glaring eye that he recognizes of the Sharingan. This makes Kirai gasp in fear as he grabs Naruto by his collar and rushes around the nearest house corner, hoping to never make eye contact with that man again. Naruto looks at Kirai confused, but Kirai continues to run, his eyes clearly wild with fear and his body drenched in sweat from fear as he and Naruto rush out of the area of the clan. Kirai, what are you doing? Kirai doesn't bother responding as he continues to run away from the clan, refusing to stop running until his legs will no longer carry him. Finally, after 20 straight minutes of sprinting, Kirai and Naruto collapse onto their knees and find themselves gasping for air. Naruto, we can't ever talk about what we saw there to anyone else, do you understand? What? Kirai, that person in the mask was killing people. We have to tell someone or else he'll get away. Kirai's eyes look down at the ground as his sweat continues to drip from his forehead onto his nose and further onto the ground. Naruto, did you get a look at that man's face? Naruto shakes his head. I can only see his red eyes. Wait. Does that mean he has a Sharingan? Does that mean he's an Uchiha? That would make him an Uchiha. Wait. Kirai holds his fingers up to his face. Shh. I know he saw us. I'm pretty sure he didn't follow us, but just in case, keep your voice down. Naruto nods and Kirai decides to attempt to explain what he saw. Before I try to explain what I saw, you are aware of the Sharingan, obviously, but are you aware of the legend that there was once an Uchiha who possessed an eye ability even greater than that? Naruto shakes his head. Something above the Sharingan? Kirai nods slowly as his heart rate drops from life-threatening levels and starts to slow down a bit. Well, there is a myth that if the user of the Sharingan kills someone near to their own heart, their eyes will develop into something called the Mangekyo Sharingan. My dad said that this eye allowed for an Uchiha to have great power and new abilities, but the only person who have ever successfully achieved this in history is Madara Uchiha, who existed when Hashirama founded the village. That man had a Mangekyo Sharingan. I'm sure of it. His ability to warp through space and the pattern of that eye, it wasn't like a normal 3 Tomoe Sharingan. It has to be on Mangekyo. Naruto's eyes expand as Kirai continues to explain. Madara Uchiha? The Madara Uchiha who was so strong that the first Hokage struggled to fight him? That Madara is supposed to be alive and we saw him and lived? Naruto as well seems to be shaking with all of his body, seemingly electrified. Yeah, but I don't think we escaped through anything but sheer luck. Madara was slaughtering everyone there, so I don't think 2 random kids could have possibly mattered to him. But that means that if that truly was Madara, which it has to be, no one else in Uchiha history has ever gotten the Sharingan, then that means that all the Uchiha clan must be dead. Both of the children stare at the ground in terror, and of the situation seems to be fading from their hearts as a new emotion seems to be hardening within them. The immortal Madara, huh? The fire of a new goal and mission strengthens within Naruto and Kirai's hearts respectively. And the thought of the masked man who was Madara Uchiha, the two look at each other. Naruto, we have to become strong. Strong enough to defeat the immortal Madara Uchiha. If we don't, then I can never truly keep my sister safe from danger. And you can become the best Hokage if you can be the one to slay the legendary Madara, the one that even Lord First could not take down. Are you with me? Kirai asks this and sticks his hand out to Naruto, to his best friend and the one who he is trusting with most of his heart, and with all of his heart. Someone who he views and sees as a brother. Naruto sees this outstretched hand and puts out his own hand, grasping Kirai's with a slow, disheartening grimace forming on his face. Of course I'm with you, brother. For as long as we live, we won't stop until we bury the past of the Leaf Village, Madara Uchiha. We then fade into the blackness of night. After we see Naruto and Kirai make this vow, we then see them fall into a schedule of training as hard as possible to become the best shinobi that they possibly can. Until 6 years have passed, and the two once young, naive, innocent children are now 12 years old and only one day off from graduating from the academy, becoming on their own shinobi teams, and taking one step closer to the multitude of goals and dreams that they hold within their hearts. Kirai, at the age of 12, wakes up on his creaky, dusty bed and sits up on it just like he would every other normal day. He slowly puts on his clothes, which have been made for him, been made for Kirai's growing body, although he can't really consider these clothes as anything above the level of rags, just like his old clothes. He walks downstairs to see his two sisters, Yui and Nico, sitting at the dining room table. Both of them, over the years, have changed drastically from the near perfect human beings that he once saw his sisters as. Or maybe it's just that his eyes have been opened after that incident with Madara. Maybe he just truly sees his sisters as something as human, not these goddess-like figures that he once admired as a child. He can now see the flaws in them. Yui's once bright red, shining eyes have darkened and lost a lot of the glint. They're much less bright and shining than they used to be. She constantly seems exhausted with the bags under her eyes all the time, and even at her age, her hair is starting to thin at the ends, and the usual blonde, really just dark yellow hair is starting to fade and turn white and bleached. Nico's once lightly colored eyes have darkened as well, although this had never really concerned Kirai to the degree that Yui had, because, well, Nico always seemed to be able to harbor the weight of reality, the weight of darkness. However, what Kirai does notice is Nico's once jet black hair has started to lose some of its inherent darkness, somewhat turning gray in too much sunlight. Kirai hates seeing two of the most important people in his life living like this, and he squeezes his hand when he comes downstairs to see this. Hey guys. Kirai puts on a fake smile as he waves at his sisters. I'm guessing you guys had a long shift last night based on how you guys look. Kirai starts to bite off some of the leftovers that he had started last night and devours his meal into 2 bites. You don't need to worry about us, Kirai. We are both grown women now. You are still just our baby brother. Kirai's eyebrows come together as he looks at Yui. If you are such grown women, how come you aren't living on your own yet with a man to provide for you? Kirai says this playfully, and just like he expected, Yui starts blushing and gets flustered. Shut up and go to school, Kirai. Kirai smiles. You know I'm just joking with you, Yui. No one in this village is good enough for either of you guys anyway. Kirai's eyes glint. And if I find out any of you do have a boyfriend, I'm going to kill them. He tilts his head slightly before laughing out loud with his sisters, and laughing so hard that it requires him to wipe a tear from his eye. Anywho, after today, you guys can quit your jobs. As a shinobi, I'll make more than enough money for us to move out of this dirty home, and you guys can live stress-free, job-free lives. Kirai then heads to the door and grabs the doorknob. Alright guys, I'm off. Don't get into any trouble while I'm gone. And if you guys do, if I find out that you got into any trouble, there's going to be hell to pay. Kirai then winks at his 2 sisters and opens the door and heads out to see Naruto sitting on the street right in front of his home, just as usual. And Kirai smiles. You ready to become a shinobi yet, Naruto? Naruto smiles. Of course, Kirai. We passed the test yesterday and I got a new jutsu I want to show you too. It's been a pretty good week. Alright. Show it to me on the way, or we're gonna be late again. Naruto nods and the two start jogging to the academy. Okay, Kirai. Don't be mad, but you know the Hokage has scrolls in his office that have jutsu and stuff, right? Yeah, we saw them after we got caught, or really, you got caught for defacing the Hokage statue, and I specifically told you not to mess with them. What about them? Naruto smiles. So I disobeyed you, and I read one of them after sneaking into the old man's office, and I practiced one of the jutsus all night, and look at this. Naruto then puts his fingers together, making a cross shape with them, and as soon as he does so, a plume of smoke consumes his entire body completely before making 3 shadow clones. Isn't this so cool, Kirai? Kirai's eyes widen. Wow, you learned how to do the shadow clone jutsu? Seems like just yesterday that you couldn't even do clone jutsu correctly. My dad told me a while back that even Chunin can't do that. They're not supposed to have the chakra levels to be able to. But you can? That's pretty impressive. Naruto then has a smug smile on his face. I guess I am just that amazing, Kirai. I guess I am. As soon as Naruto says this, his shoe gets caught on a loose rock and he face plants directly into the ground. Yup, super amazing, Naruto. Hokage tier, in fact. The two of them chuckle as they arrive at the academy, and Naruto takes in a deep breath. Yes! It's time to become a shinobi. Kira and Naruto then both see a couple of people that they for sure know from their class, and just have a slight remembrance of their time together as academy students. As they think about this, Kirai glances over and sees Hinata, and punches Naruto's shoulder to get her attention, or get his attention. Hey Naruto, it's Hinata! Naruto then turns around nonchalantly and shrugs. So? So? What do you mean so? Naruto, I'm telling you, she's really into you. She's cute and from a really strong clan, so how could you not even talk to her once? Naruto just shrugs. Hinata seems weird. I personally like Sakura. Kirai's fist starts shaking as he punches Naruto in the head. You idiot. You like a big foreheaded, pink-haired Sasuke tard more than a girl with a normal forehead, cool-looking eyes, and someone who's head over heels for you? Naruto nods. Yeah, I guess I do. What about you, Kirai? Who do you like in our class? Kirai's eyes then flash around, and his face turns slightly red. I don't like anyone. I don't have time for that. Naruto then gets a mischievous look on his face. I know who it is. Here's your crush right now. Kirai looks puzzled, then turns around to see a student who had joined their class the year before, but somehow was still skilled enough to graduate in the same year as them. She is the same age, but it is Kumiko Hyuga. She is the only other Hyuga in their age group, and is someone who has been the bane of Kirai's existence ever since she joined the academy. Kirai, upon seeing Kumiko, takes a step back and has his guard up ever so slightly. What do you want, Kumiko? Kirai has a scowl on his face and he looks up at her. Kumiko looks down at him and says, Why are you always so angry with me, Kirai? Is it because I'm taller than you? Or maybe it's because I'm stronger than you. Do you not like the idea of a girl being stronger than you? Kirai's patience starts to wane thin as he squeezes his hand. Kumiko, I already told you I'll hit my growth spurt soon, and you are definitely not stronger than me. That's not what our class ranks say, Kirai. Class ranks aren't everything, Kumiko. You know that, right? Or else Hinata wouldn't be above you. Or, I guess that's what you think. Kumiko cracks a smile when Kirai says this. What is that tone you're using, Kirai? It's almost like you think you could beat me in a fight. But I know you're a weak pacifist and a coward who doesn't like fighting, so that just can't be the case. Kirai raises an eyebrow to this and calms himself down. I may be a pacifist, but I'm definitely not a coward, and I know when to let my abilities speak for themselves. Maybe you should learn that skill, Kumiko, 'cause you sure do talk quite a bit. Kirai then turns around, and he and Naruto walk to the classroom as Kumiko starts fuming. Kumiko is unbelievable. Did you hear her? Always going on about her strength and her height and her clan. So stupid. I hate her. Naruto has a smirk crawl into his face as Kirai vents in his chair. You know, Kirai, for someone who hates Kumiko so much, you sure talk about her quite a bit. Kirai's face burns with embarrassment as he understands what Naruto is trying to imply. You are an idiot if you think I like that ogre. Naruto then puts his hand up in surrender, dropping the topic, and his expression turns slightly more serious. Kirai, do you think that we'll be on the same team as Genin? Kirai ponders this question for a bit, before looking back at Naruto. It's possible. I mean, if they pair up all of the idiots, then yeah, we'll be on the same team, most likely with Shikamaru or maybe Choji, since he did pretty bad in school compared to the other students. But if they pair the strong people up with the weak people, we definitely won't be on the same team. Our grades, even though our sparring we did pretty good and we were ranked pretty high, neither of us were really good at the test taking. Kirai then sees a visual disappointment flash onto Naruto's face, and he puts his hand on his friend's shoulder to comfort him. Hey Naruto, even if we don't end up on the same team, it's okay. We'll still train together every day and work towards the end goal of taking out Madara Uchiha, so it's alright, okay? Naruto then nods, confidence rushing back into his eyes. Yeah, you're right, Kirai. Then, as soon as this happens, Aruka walks into the classroom with a chart in his hands. Alright class, as you know, you graduated officially yesterday, and you now be assigned your teams. Aruka starts listing off a ton of names until he finally reaches Team 7. For this year's graduating 7th team, Naruto Uzumaki, Sakura Haruno, Sasuke Uchiha. You will all be on the Team 7. Naruto and Kirai's face drops as all hope of them being on the same team is sucked from their bodies. Damn it. Kirai slams his fist into the desk with anger and disappointment as he truly wanted to be on the same team as Naruto, who he sees as his brother. Not only just because he wants to spend more time with him, but because he wants to protect Naruto. He feels like he cannot protect him if he is not there. Aruka, however, continues, finally listing off a ton of people before moving on to the 11th and final team that he can call. For this year's 11th team, Kirai Kadoku, Kumiko Hyuga, and Hachiro Daiichi. Kirai's face drops even more as he realizes that he's paired with two of the possibly worst people that he'd possibly be paired up with. No way. I'm in the same team as Kumiko and Hachiro? Oh no. Kirai then gets up from his chair after Aruka dismisses the class, and he and Naruto walk out of the building together. I get that you hate Kumiko and all, but what's wrong with Hachiro? He seemed pretty nice to me. Yeah, Hachiro seems nice, and in fact, if I wasn't me, he probably would be very nice as a person. But when I told him my last name, all I felt was his desire to kill me right then and there. And the thing is, I usually don't get intimidated by people, but he is so strong, he probably could rip my head off of my shoulders. I don't want to be teammates with someone that wants to kill me, Naruto. Naruto chuckles to himself when he says this. I mean, hey, I could put on the same team as Sasuke, so it isn't all good for me either, Kirai. Kirai nods. Fair enough. But at least you're on the same team as your crush. Anyways, when do you meet your jounin instructor? Tomorrow in the middle of the day? You? Right now. My squad was scheduled to meet up with our instructor in 10 minutes after our team was announced, so I'll see you later. The two then wave at each other and split up. Naruto heads home to get some rest before the next day, and Kirai walks back into the building and he sees his new teammates. He sits down and sees his jounin instructor walk through the door. Immediately, he feels a strange, seemingly snake-like presence exude off of her. I'm Anko. This is my first year as an official jounin instructor, and it's time to see if you kids are really strong enough to become full-fledged Leaf Shinobi. Go upstairs to the roof and we'll continue this discussion there. Anko then disappears into a plume of smoke, and Kirai looks at his teammates before getting up and walking up to the roof. Kirai, Kumiko, and Hachiro all sit down on the roof as Anko stares at them. Alright, I have a question for you, or I have two questions for you. Why do you three in particular want to become shinobi, and what do you hope to accomplish as your time serving for the Leaf Village? Hachiro clears his throat, indicating that he's going first. Now, as Kirai looks at Hachiro, he remembers exactly why he harbors such a massive amount of fear for him. Hachiro stands an entire foot and a half above Kirai, and probably weighs 3 times than that Kirai does. Yet, he isn't fat or chunky in any way, just stocky and big. His arms look like they were meant to yank trees right out from the ground, roots and all, and his plain face only seems to be able to display boredom and something between anger and annoyance. His dark brown hair is shaggy and in front of his eyes, although it isn't nearly as long as Kirai's is. Kirai has also seen firsthand that Hachiro's strength is much greater than anything that he would have even thought possible with the help of chakra. Much less without the help of chakra like Hachiro can do, with just his natural fortitude. So, when he speaks, let's just say that everyone around him is inclined to listen. The reason I become a shinobi is because that is what my parents want for me. My goal is to show my father and mother that I can be just as great as a ninja as my other brothers are, or once were. Anko raises an eyebrow to this. Trying to prove a point to mommy and daddy, huh? Interesting. Anko then points at Kumiko. You, Hyuga, what is your reason for becoming a shinobi, and what do you hope to accomplish? Kumiko then stands up confidently and stares at Anko. The reason I'm becoming a shinobi is simply because I'm part of the Hyuga clan. It's my destiny. And as for my goals, I just hope that my abilities can soon reach those of Neji Hyuga's. Anko then gets up, blank-faced, and turns to Kirai. Her tongue extends past her mouth as she licks her lips and looks directly at Kirai, unnerving him. What about you? Do you have any lofty ideals? Kirai then stands up and shakes his shaggy hair out of his face. I became a shinobi for money. I need it so my older sisters never have to work or stress over money or bills ever again. In terms of my goal, I only wish to protect my loved ones while hurting the least amount of people possible. Anko then laughs when hearing this. Becoming a shinobi for money and being a pacifist? Got a real selfish one right here. Kirai then stares at Nika with his lightly colored eyes. Selfish? I guess if you're too simple-minded to understand, I guess you could say that. The tension between Anko and Kirai starts to build up before Anko finally breaks the tension by clapping her hands together and cuts everything off. Alright, follow me. Anko then leaps off of a building and rushes out of the forest. Kirai and the rest following in hot pursuit until they arrive within the forest and they all stop. Alright. What most jounin instructors do is perform a bell test to test your teamwork and individual abilities. I don't really care for any of that. It seems pretty boring since you're all genin and you won't be able to really do any damage to me. So, I'm going to do something a little different. Anko then tosses 3 bells, 1 for each teammate, and then explains what this drill is. I'm going to hunt you down for the next 12 hours to give me a warm-up, and to see if you guys can keep a secure file away from your enemy in the case that you as genin are running away, which you most likely will be in missions. If you get the bell stolen from you, by me, then you will never become a shinobi. You have 1 minute before the hunt begins. Immediately, the terror of a jounin hunting them down sets in, and all of the genin rush into the forest as Anko counts from 60. After reaching 0, her eyes become snake-like. Let the hunt begin. And that, everybody, is where I'm going to end Chapter 4 to the What If Anime X, or me, was in Naruto series. And this part was something that I had, been working on for a week. Editing-wise, it's nothing crazy. It's like my normal standard editing. But it was really the script and just setting up the characters, is what I really wanted to do. If you guys were wondering, yeah, it's probably going to turn into more of a weekly thing now, just because working on these like 30-minute plus videos is not something that I can just easily do, right? Like it takes a bit of time along with doing the daily, or like at least my attempt to do daily videos, right? It's just something that I probably won't be able to do back to back to back like that, you know? These what ifs end up being like 6, 7, maybe even 8 pages to script sometime, and that's just something that, like, you know, I just won't be able to do, and my voice probably won't even be able to handle all the time. Now, for all the people that are new and like are watching this video for some reason, I just want to let you guys know, or like for all the people that had heard about this project a while back and were wondering if I was still even doing it, yes, Project X is still underway. On my Twitter is mainly when I'll be keep giving you guys info, like maybe short snippets of the animations that I've been working on, and like that type of stuff overall, right? Because, you know, I just want to reward the people who decide to follow me on Twitter, you know, like give them a little something. So like on Twitter, I probably will start sharing some of like the 5-10 second animation clips that I've been working on for quite a bit of time, along with maybe giving you guys like a little sneak peek of the what if, but I don't know. Really working on the story still, but you know, just anyways, as usual, links to my social media will be down below, including my Twitter, Discord, Instagram, all the good stuff, along with my second channel, just like I plugged earlier today. So anyways, as usual, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and as always guys, this is Anime X signing off.